I am a natural wanderer. There has been that calling inside of me to explore wherever I may be. The earth is too big, and Mother Nature has an abundance of lovely wonders, most of which irrespective of time and season. I believe the story of our lives depends on how eagerly we seek out and embrace our adventures. We are endowed with the freedom to move around, paving the way for us to actively pursue self-determination. The right to make choices that resonate with our aspirations and our values is simply pure liberty. Join me on this channel as I try to share my adventures in cities and the countryside. Witness the adrenaline and dopamine effects of taking solo trails, or feel the healing and humbling reflections of taking silent journeys on modern civilization to timeless wilderness.
Everything around us was so much taller. Do you ever remember when we were younger? So we'll just remember when we were young.
New York has captivated many, and who wouldn't be? This landscape of steel, concrete, and even glass is one benchmark of an expansive metropolis, underground, above the ground, and even above the clouds. It would be hard not to look up and marvel at the towering skyscrapers that have turned into architectural wonders as you stroll Manhattan. You would not want to blink while standing in the center of Times Square, witnessing gigantic billboards and neon signs bursting with blinding lights from colorful tapestry. The geometry of solid steel bars and cable wires spanning the mighty suspension bridges boasts of strength and grace. The elements of noise and bustle that play around complement the radiance and intensity of a place that holds countless stories, from epic legends to news in the making. This is New York, picturesque and modern in the eyes of many, a testament to human ingenuity, a display of gravity-defying marvels of engineering prowess. But more than these remarkable feats, there is a wealth of hidden treasures and worthwhile destinations unknown to many. Beyond the iconic works of man and machine, my trails of exploration have led me to an artistry unfolding in breathtaking splendor. It is nature that impresses with its magical touch, shaping everything in its womb over time. New York is a state filled with natural wonders. Waterfalls, beaches, sandstone cliffs, dense forests, lakes, and gorges create these area's unique landscapes. It only requires passion and some planning for you to create your own adventure. For this introductory episode, I am featuring an exploration of a waterfall in a scenic setting. Most of us perhaps have seen waterfalls of varying grace and beauty, of height and might, from pretty to powerful cascades. But have you ever taken a closer look at one, or seriously pondered how it came to be? I wandered in the Finger Lakes region with my mom and sister some time ago, and while on a drive, we were fortunate to pass by an overlook, from which we were able to observe down some stair steps of a platform the panoramic view of a gorge and its falls, having a unique sounding name, Taughannock. It was a tall, single-drop, modest water cascade embraced by the bosom of the earth. At the time, winter was setting in, which means it was getting colder and the days were getting shorter. And dusk was about to take place, and we still had to travel back 100 miles to our place of stay. But the newfound natural wonder has left me awestruck, and for some reason, has awakened a challenge in me. Can I reach its plunge pool and come to stand before this proud majesty?
Rocking a hard place is better in control.
And so, on one cold April morning, I embarked to fulfill a promise, Spring season has started taking over, but the tail end of the winter still casts its cold spell. My destination would be the village of Trumansburg in the town of Ulysses, Tompkins County, where my goal is to reach the amphitheater of a gorge and stand before the Royal Majesty Taughannock Falls. My adventure would start by driving a distance of over 160 kilometers from my place of stay, Onyoda, the city of hills, which, according to the Waze app, would take me a little over 2 hours. If you'll be coming from NYC, it's about 374 kilometers, about 4 hours and 25 minutes straight drive. Google Maps geolocates my destination to be on the left side of New York State Route 89, which is actually the parking area and a jump-off point of trails. The weather forecast made me anticipate low temperatures and scattered rains. On my way, I experienced peaking sunshine and melting snow on the roadside. However, as I got nearer my destination, the rain became persistent. Trying to manage my excitement, I decided to give a sequential order to my exploration. I'll start on the main ground as my first stop and discover what it offers. Located on the southwestern side of the serene Cayuga Lake, the main park ground is on the right side of New York State Route 89 if you are way north. A large marker would confirm you are in the right place. Taughannock Falls State Park reveals whispers of ancient winds and modern delights. This park, with a total of 750-acre sanctuary, invites visitors to explore its wonders any time of the year. It welcomes guests with a wide expanse and a neat landscape, with an array of well-cared trees in selected sections. From where I stand, I can see the playground with various equipment and play facilities, inviting creativity and fun for kids and adults. On the shoreline of the lake, I can see the beachfront, which I can imagine in summer would be full of crowds frolicking in the water. A few kayaks are on display and ready for use as weather conditions get warmer. There is also the boat launch area where boaters and fishing enthusiasts can take off. The park's farther left side is wooded and designated as a campground. Think how refreshing it would be in summer. The lush green canopy of trees giving shades for tents or camper vans to enjoy the place as a campsite. Just across Taughannock Boulevard, you can find a popular landmark, the serene estate of the Inn at Taughannock. Perched on top of the hill in a sprawling parkland, it is an appealing accommodation and popular events venue as it overlooks Cayuga Lake. Its space extends, bordering the parking area and the jump-off point of trails you can take towards the falls. Moving to the parking area, the first thing that greets every visitor is a historical marker that speaks to the significance of this place. At the entrance gate, there is a clear advisory of some park rules that need be strictly observed. Entering the area with your vehicle requires a $9 parking fee. The payment collection machine is self-assisted and easy to use as it provides payment option channels. It also encourages an honesty system by having no parking personnel to check your transaction. And oh, by the way, the parking receipt you get for the day can serve as an entrance ticket when you visit other state parks in the state of New York for the same day. Beyond the far end of the parking area reveals a spacious open ground that forms a part of the elevated and expansive riverside. I can surmise that in summer, this area transforms into a vibrant picnic spot. A charming bridge, skillfully constructed with brick stones, is situated here as part of New York 89 route, spanning across Taughannock Creek, which carries the water from the main falls down to the stunning Cayuga Lake. Despite the rain, finding a cluster of daffodils in full blossom is uplifting, their vibrant yellow hue brightening the onset of spring. Just beyond the creek, over the bridge, A meandering path leads to the North Rim Trail, which winds way up the cliff to an overlook above the gorge. A closer inspection of the stone slabs makes the north side more interesting with its seemingly suspended rock layers, carrying the weight of the mountain above. The same holds true looking ahead on the flatbed rock layers of the river. That spot is beloved by fly fishing enthusiasts who gather to try their luck at catching fish where the water from the main falls is a little deeper. Going back to the parking area, we proceed to walk on the most obvious path on the ground. On the left side, the first thing you will see is the north end gate of the inn at Taughannock, converging with other labeled trails and a distance sign to the falls that makes you anticipate the 3/4 of a mile trek. The trails, both above and below the falls, offer views that stir the human spirit. The South Rim Trail that winds through the forest on the upper south side of the canyon is selectively used by hikers and skiers for greater adventure, though not yet accessible at this time of the year. The Gorge Trail, the most prominent and commonly used, is a wide and flat pathway that offers an easy walk along the side of the river that directly leads to the falls. If you are on a bike, you must leave it on the bicycle ports provided on this spot, as the use of which is prohibited on this specific trail. As you start along the Gorge Trail, I recommend you stop by this large info board and get a good introduction before going deeper the trail. A little understanding of the geologic processes that have occurred in this canyon for millions of years would certainly add to your appreciation and will lead to respecting all the time that has passed that led to the formation of the gorge and its falls. After just a few feet of walking, I encountered a split in the path. Way ahead to the right is a cascade only a few feet high. As I get up close, the layered rock beds presents an illusion, making the bedrock layers appear to be hanging due to the hollow space underneath. From the right side of the cascade, you can see an impressive cut on the riverbed that has dropped, giving way to the creation of these short but broad waterfalls. This is the same sight we saw when we were standing near the bridge just a little while ago. Moving back to the main trail, I get to feel how solid the terraced steps and ledges are, most probably cut from the smaller slabs of flat bedrock sourced from the river itself. The Gorge Trail, or the main trail, follows the creek side and makes you witness the shallow clear water that flows on top of one of the broadest flat bedrocks I have ever seen. And as you lead deeper into the trail, the more towering the cliffs on both sides it gets. I can't help but imagine the hard work of the elements of erosion have given this place through time in order to come up with such a uniquely impressive landscape. Walking further down the Gorge Trail, the sides of the gorge seem to have identical vegetation, but there is actually a difference between the two. The left side, or the south slope of the gorge, is shaded, cool, and damp. Given the high moisture, you can easily spot mosses, fungi, and algae, thriving abundantly. The trees mostly present on this side are coniferous hemlock, along with sugar maples and yellow birches. The right side, which is the north slope, presents a flora, mostly deciduous trees like maples, oaks, and cedar. Accordingly, this is what has been explained as the side exposed to the sun, which is warm and dry at most times of the year. It impresses me how you can find microclimates uniquely existing in one single location. Everywhere I look, the effects of natural forces on the rocky walls of the gorge over time are on display. Deposits of crushed limestones, sandstones, and eroded shale on the bottom of both sides of cliffs cautioned me that this place is an ever-continuous work in progress. As such, the need to be conscious of the risks of landslides or falling stones must be anticipated. You are nearly at the end of the gorge trail when you can hear the plunge of cascading waters and can see a portion of the falls behind the tree lines. You are entering the horseshoe amphitheater as you start crossing a short span of wooden walk bridge where the cold and clear rushing water passes underneath. I feel ecstatic, being one with nature. I marvel in awe at the display of layered rocks, cliffs chiseled over time, matching as a perfect backdrop to the braid of torrents plunging 215 feet into the pool of emerald water below. So how did this masterpiece came to be? How was Taughannock Gorge formed from all of those rock layers? Millennia ago, Taughannock Creek began its relentless work carving through the layers of the Earth's ground. Picture the creek as a patient sculptor, chiseling away at the Earth's canvas. It eroded over 400 feet of shale, creating a broad delta on the western side of Cayuga Lake. Today, the park's lawn, beach, and marina rest upon this ancient delta. During glacial epochs, Taughannock Gorge experienced a dance of ice and water. As glaciers retreated, they left behind hanging valleys. The waterfall receded, etching a gorge as it cut through the main weak shale, revealing the resistant Tule limestone beneath. The result? A 400-foot deep chasm adorned with cliffs that tower above the gorge floor. Today, I give special praise to the Almighty, for I have fulfilled a self-imposed challenge with His indulgence. Here I am, standing at the precipice, gazing upon this majesty with its mist of cold water touching my face. The falls, akin to a divine architect, intricately intertwine the forces of water, stone, and time. Its towering stature exceeds even the grandeur of Niagara Falls, establishing it as the loftiest single-drop waterfall in the northeastern United States. As I stand in awe before these falls, this trail has just imposed in me the deeper value of humility. Taughannock is a name that reverberates the enchanting murmurs and resounding echoes of descending waters. It has been raining all along, and my favorite red jacket is soaked. More than the raindrops, I am soaked with appreciation of life and time. With its raw power and delicate beauty, Taughannock Falls reminds us that nature's artistry is both grand and intimate. Truly, Mother Nature has her way of giving an embrace that makes your heart sing a melody and your adventurous spirit run over. As I walk back to the parking area, grateful and peaceful, I have experienced a sanctuary where time slows and the heart quickens. I can only wish upon you to step lightly along the trails of life, and may you be on adventures that resonate with the person in you. If this video brought you wonder or inspiration, I invite you to like and subscribe to follow more quiet journeys. Your kind and thoughtful comments are always welcome and deeply appreciated.